Welcome, Monarchs fans, to another installment of Monarchs Hockey, coming to you from blustery Fort McMurray, Alberta, where the temperature here is minus 23 degrees Celsius before the wind chill. Monarchs coming off a big win last night, 12-0 against the hometown side Huskies. They'll look to repeat and build on that performance. In net today, we'll have Gwen Raby-Payne in between the pipes, and looking to build on some good momentum that they started yesterday. Had some good things going on with their power play. Hopefully we'll see more of that today. We're gonna head into warm-up here, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Number 8, Natalia Booten. 9, Skylar Shepard. 11, Alice Robbs. Number 12, Alexis Martin. 13, Leah Bradford. 17, Paige Brown. Number 18, Riley Rice. 19, Haley Burks. 20, Ushala Hussein. 21, Zoe White. 22, Lily Oak. And number 33, London Morley.
A little foamy. Yeah, it's a quick pour.
Up. Thanks, buddy.
Someone's looking for their wallet. What do you mean?
Thanks, buddy. So you got to be aggressive on the puck.
With time winding down in the warm-up, the Monarchs huddle up for their pregame pep talk and stick tap, get themselves in the right mindset. And that signals it's time for Monarchs hockey to begin, folks.
Well, partner, I think it's going to be a good game here. Morning started out good. Powdered eggs and rubbery bacon at the Micro Hotel. So that's how I started my day. And few chips and salsa this afternoon, and good to go.
Sounds like the breakfast of champions there, Curtis.
Yeah, the powdered eggs did not sit well, but here we are, right?
You're still standing, so they couldn't have been that bad. Looks like we'll have Auger centering Clark and Evans to start, with Kemp and Cossey on the blue line. Draw one by the Huskies, but quickly intercepted by Evans. She slaps it into the zone, but they're offside, having to tag up. Cossey playing defense today. We'll see if that continues. She played a heck of a game at forward yesterday. Now passing it up to Evans across the Auger. Blocked by the defenseman, picked up by Clark, direct to the net. Loose puck just skirts in behind. Cossey pinches, holds the line. Pops over Auger's skate, and now there's a foot race. Kemp beats her player out to the puck, circles in behind, passes up to Clark. Cossey now tries it up the right-hand side. Just slides off her stick. Oh, might have been a too many men call there, but they got away with one. And Raby Payne makes her first save of the game, scooping it up and holding on to it for our first face-off. You know, Curtis, I wonder if we're going to have a spirited affair. These are the two most penalized teams in the league. Yesterday combining for a total of 20, was it 21 penalties, 20 penalties?
21, 22, and the Huskies are now about 120 PIMs, I think.
Wow. Yeah, so spirited affair, nothing too egregious, but plenty of physicality both ways. We'll see if that continues today. Correa goes back into her own zone. Chips it up the wall to the waiting Murphy, who takes it with speed. She's got Brox with her in the middle. Brox tries to beat the defenseman, but gets tied up and goes down in a heap. Murphy now tries to collect it over to the far corner. Good forecheck here shaping up. Hayes in deep, helping out. Looks like Sophie Hayes taking a shift at forward here today. Maybe just a late change.
No, I think it's looking like Hayes will be playing forward all game here.
Looks like Cossey and Hayes might have got flipped on the roster here. Interesting move by Coach Hayes. Obviously, Hayes, a talented player on both sides of the puck, should make the adjustment easily. Coster rubs out her player onto the boards. Clark goes with a nice pass out front of Tavaroli, just shoots just to the right of the net. Good look there from Clark to Tavaroli. Ocho Elder now tries her hand with the deep shot. The puck's still loose, digging away. Looks like there will be at least one penalty on the play. Looked pretty innocent from Coster, but unsurprising that it is Coster in the mix. Looks like they'll be taking both of them. So we're picking up right where we left off from yesterday's game with a quick penalty just 2.5 minutes in here, Curtis.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Monarchs should be on the power play here, but a little subtle grab of both players and we're gonna have some 5-on-5 hockey.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see him take both there. It looked pretty innocent from Alyssa on that play, but...
Well, I mean, sometimes you get 2 minutes for taking a punch.
Yeah, that's not one you'll find in the rule book, but it does happen. Tavaroli leans on her player, trying to disrupt the breakout, and does. Evans puts it around behind the offensive zone net, where it's picked up by the waiting Clark, gets pinned on the wall, but squeaks out to Evans. Evans looks to center out front off the backhand, spins back to the forehand, dumps it in behind the net. Clark out front. Ooh, unusual bounce, almost found its way into the back of the net. Tavaroli now looking to pass out front to Evans. Evans, hard shot up high, stopped by the goaltender. Clark now into the corner. Gets it back up to where Kemp was waiting, but it's intercepted on the way. She collects it herself, puts it down into the far side corner now. Into Tavaroli, in behind the net. Out front to Evans, shoots just wide. Goalie might have got a piece of that. Hurtubise fresh onto the ice, puts it down into the Huskies zone where they'll attempt a breakout. Hattie Brox in on the forecheck, disrupts that pass. Hurtubise up to Hayes. Hayes to Brox. Now they got a 3-on-2 shaping up here. Nice pass to Auger. She's got a lane and scores.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for here, Jer. Short little 6-foot pass by Brox. Nice backhand touch, and Auger puts it right off the post.
Yeah, beautiful play. Starting in their own end, went D to D. Nice breakout pass up the middle. And tic-tac-toe into the back of the net.
And tic-tac-toe is what I was playing quite a bit today while I was making visits to the can after the powdered eggs.
It's good to keep the mind busy. Good to keep the mind busy. Auger spins around behind her own net, buying herself some time and space. Passes up the wall to the waiting Cossey. Cossey now to Murphy, who chips it to the blue line. Briefly held in, but now she's away with Brox. Brox tries that outside-inside move, but she's denied by the Huskies defenseman. Cossey holding that line on the far side. Tavaroli picks and fires. Pad save by the Huskies goaltender. Hurtubise now with time, walks into the middle, shoots, deflects. Took a couple bounces on the way in, almost beat the goaltender. Of note, there was a goaltending change on the part of the Huskies from yesterday's game to today. Last night's goalie, no doubt, probably taking some much-needed rest after facing 87 shots.
Yeah, 87 shots on the score sheet, but about 50 in the game. It was really interesting.
Stats are kind of a suggestion more of than a rule, but
And rule number 1 is you don't let goalie dads in the box to do this, do the score sheet.
padding the stats, padding the stats. Clark passes it out front to Evans, spins, fires. Nice save by the goaltender on that point-blank chance from Evans. Correa goes to work in deep, holding that line. Hayes now with the puck behind the net, passes it out to Correa, her usual D partner. Oh, nice touch pass down low. Great finish there. Good vision for Correa to find Evans down low with the one-touch chip in. Nice looking play there, Curtis.
Oh, Correa gets the puck back on the point. Little fake, little shoulder tuck, and then finds Evans on the back door there for the deflection.
Yeah, great vision on the part of Correa. Great finish on the part of Evans. Nice play. Bit of confusion as to who's coming out here for this next face-off. Looks like Hayes will be centering Brox and Coster. Elder squeezes it out on the wall, but it's brought back out. Correa now has to come back and collect. This may be an icing, and yes, it is. Last game, the Monarchs were able to put a lot of pressure on the defense for the Huskies, forcing a number of icing calls. We'll see if they can sustain that pressure in the offensive zone today. Hayes in to take the draw once again. Draw is lost back to the Huskies, who rim it around the boards. Hit by the referee. Friendly bounce for the Monarchs. Comes back to Kemp, who holds the line. Nice pass over to Hayes, who looks backdoor for Brox, but intercepted just in time. Brox hard on the puck as always. Turns it back for Coster. Cossey pinches down, holding the line. Now it comes loose to Kemp, who dashes in. Comes around behind the net looking for options. Passes it back to the point for Cossey. Cossey backhands it over to the corner where it's picked up and cleared from the zone. But now back in where Brox will attempt to chase it down. Finally, it comes out into the neutral zone where it's picked up by Auger, who now comes across the blue line with speed. Puck comes out over the line where Hurtubise waits to collect it. Shoots it across over to Correa. Now into the center for Auger. Stops up. Held there by Hurtubise briefly. Back into the zone. Slapped out to neutral ice. Bit sloppy here in the last shift, but the Monarchs do gain possession deep in the zone briefly. Huskies defensemen trying to evade the forecheck of Clark and Murphy, having a hard time doing it. They got him pinned in here. Correa comes over. Oh, bad hop just came over the top of her stick. Correa passes up to Murphy just off her stick. Huskies go D to D. while allowing for a change. Turned back by Evans. Once again, intercepted by Tavaroli this time, who finds Evans wide open. She shoots, blocked into the corner. Brox now goes to work behind the net, and that is iced down. We'll see if it gets to Raby Payne, and it does, negating the icing, but she will cover up for a defensive zone draw for the Monarchs.
And partner, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we didn't get a national anthem today. And
You know what? That's a good point.
yeah, I think yesterday the music lady there received about 25 text messages during the national anthem, so she opted not to do it today.
She's a popular lady, needless to say. Kemp passes it up to Evans. Evans chips it out to Tavaroli. We got a 2-on-1 with Tavaroli and Brox. Brox now slides in. Ooh, great defensive play to initially break it up, but she is able to get it back, put it off the pads to the waiting Tavaroli, who taps it into the gaping cage for a 3-0 lead. Good effort, driving the net. Good things will happen.
Yeah, it's looking like the girls are getting a lot of great looks on those 2-on-1 chances. We've had a couple great passes where if you have that shoot first mentality all the time, it's not always the best play, but finding that open player leads to good things.
Yeah, a lot of odd man rushes already, which is what they're trying to create with their offensive structure. Puck's dumped in, that'll be icing. Hayes in to take the draw, wins it back to Kemp, turns and fires off the glove of Hayes in behind the net where it pops out for Clark. Again, a little bit of exuberance in front of the Huskies crease there. The home fans voicing their excitement in support of the home team.
Yeah, folks, if you ever heard of the glass banger in Dallas for the Dallas Stars, we have the stainless steel wall banger here in Fort Mac.
Yeah, doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but he does get the job done, doesn't he? Ocho Elder puts a shot through just wide of the net. Hayes in to collect it. Coster now centers out front to Clark, and Clark hammers it home. They're piling it on here, folks, with 4 goals here in the first 11 minutes. Pardon me, 9 minutes.
And hopefully, as I mentioned yesterday, this game gets out of hand here. Hopefully the Monarchs start working on puck movement, making those plays, setting up in the power play, and a lot of things to build on in games like this.
Absolutely. It's a bit of a lopsided affair already, but again, good opportunity to practice some systems things while they got the time and space. And so far, they've been taking advantage of that. They've looked good so far to start here in game 2 of this 3-game series. Murphy comes in, directs it towards the net, but it's blocked. Brock's now on it, puts it back to Murphy behind the goal. Looks to spin, but play is broken up by the defense for the Huskies briefly before coming out to Auger. Then to Cossey. Now it's a 2-on-1 break. Hurtubise is up against the 2 players. Hurtubise with a good stick to keep that out of harm's way. Now back up ice to center where it's collected by the defense for the Huskies once again. Bit of back and forth here in the neutral zone before getting shot down for another icing. Tavaroli in to take the draw. Scramble draw drawn out of the pile by Clark, who puts a shot on net. Nice save by the Huskies goaltender. Comes out, but brought back in by Ocho Elder, who puts it over to Tavaroli. Hard in on the forecheck. She gets tied up there. Comes to Harper Evans. Back the other way. Playing a little keep away here. Elder now with it. Tries sliding go. Nice deception move. Walks the blue line. Ooh. Shot it just wide where Evans was looking for the deflection but couldn't get a stick on it. Tavaroli now bangs bodies in the corner. Spins around like a whirling dervish. Comes out to Clark, who directs it towards the net. Onto the stick of Tavaroli. Tries once, twice, but no dice.
And Evans appears to shoot it off the ref's head there, high and wide.
Well, keep your head up, son. Keep your head up. Nice move again by Tavaroli, finding some space, looking for a stick out front to bank it in off of. Goes just off of Evans, sticking wide. Tavaroli back on the puck. Nice cycle action happening here for the girls, able to change on the fly. Here's a break with some speed for the Huskies defenseman, trying to go coast to coast, but she is taken off the puck. Now Correa will break it out for the Monarchs. Nice pass. Had an open lane for Evans, but she was heading off for a change. Hayes now in the corner, pass it back behind the net, just trying to keep that puck low, grinding away against the Huskies here, keeping their feet moving. Puck's rimmed around and out, where Kemp will hustle back to pick it up. Stops up, evading the forecheck, looks for a nice pass, great look. Hits Coster in stride coming up the middle, tries to beat her player one-on-one, doesn't, but Hayes comes in for support. Passes it back to the line to Costi. She finds Coster in the middle. Point blank chance for Brox, but just couldn't find the handle and the puck goes wide. Brox again centers, but intercepted this time by the Huskies defenseman, where she tries to lug it out over the board, over the blue line. It's a 8-car pile up there. Ooh, Brox, you could see daylight upstairs on that Huskies goaltender, but unfortunately put it a little high.
Yeah, partner, that was a great little touch backhand pass by Kemp on that play.
Yeah. Here comes Murphy dancing in on the interception, shoots it, rings one off the mask. Correa now, they're putting a lot of rubber on net, but so far they're getting denied by this Huskies goaltender. Attempted chip off the boards does eventually work out, and as the Huskies forward gets it to half, but brought right back in by Correa, who will go 2-on-1. Nice shot on net, steered to the corner by the Huskies goaltender. Now the defense break it out, trying to gain speed. Caught by Correa, taken off the puck. Clark now comes in, looks and fires into the pads. Goalie's looking around, can't quite find it. Caitlin Murphy mixing it up. Like to see that out of her.
Yeah, Murphy's standing tall in the crease, surrounded by 3 Husky players, and we know the look Murphy's gonna have on her face right now. That dead stare, and no one's gonna mess with that.
You know, I thought she was just going to have this big beaming smile, but maybe the dead stare is what she was going with.
No, and we know she's learned that from her dad, old Diamond Dave Murphy.
Again, another softie, just like his daughter. Looks like some chatter in between the benches here, between the referee and both head coaches.
And I don't know if you noticed, folks, but we got a bit of a motley crew here with our officiating personnel. One looks to be about 20 years old. The other looks to be about 16, and one of our linesmen looks like he's about 7, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Might be bring your kid to work day out here. Not sure. That being said, they're doing a fine job, calling a great game so far.
Oh, they're doing a great job.
Kemp passes up to Tavaroli, looks inside to Brox now, coming up the center. Try that far side for Evans. Can't quite make it through the legs of the defense, but still managed to maintain possession. Brox is shoved off the puck. Comes out to Elder at the line, who walks it inside. Looping shot, knocked down with a high stick, and that will cause a stoppage in play.
Let's go, Huskies!
5:39 here to go in the first period.
We're seeing some good things from the Monarchs in the first. I'd really like them to move their feet a little more and just pick up the overall pace. We know the Huskies can't skate with us, so we got to get those feet moving and get going.
They got to get in the mindset of playing with some pace, because they're not going to have the time that they have today when they're facing some of the heavier competition in the coming weeks, but they are playing well. Tavaroli with a good hard separation from her player off the puck. Hurtubise digs it out. Comes back to Tavaroli, who comes up off the wall to Evans. Puck slapped down behind the net where Hurtubise comes to collect it. Stops up, has a look. Nice pass up to Evans. Evans to the streaking Brox. Can't handle it. Put back towards the bench. Slapped into the far corner where it's picked up by Cossey. Nice quick chip up to Brox. Brox has got Coster. Coster coming in with speed, takes it wide, looking for Hayes. Nice backdoor feed, great look. Just didn't quite get enough of it to put it in. And once again, a little hey, how are ya in front of the Huskies goaltender.
Yeah, Monarchs going to the power play here. Boarding call on Hayes, and Coster subsequently gets buried in the crease, but I don't think they're going to call that one.
No, it looks like they're only sending one. We'll have some 5-on-4 hockey here for the next 2 minutes or less. Hayes, Clark, and Coster out. Elder and Correa at the blue line. Correa passes it down. Comes to Elder, who loses her footing briefly, but regains control. Walks it down behind into the corner. Clark covering up at the line. Picks it up, directs it towards the net. Puck was loose briefly before being smothered by the Huskies goaltender. Nice to see the defense jumping up in the play. They have a lot of responsible players. The girls all know their role, and those forwards do such a good job of covering up, allowing the defense a little bit more leeway to jump into the play in the offensive zone.
Yeah, and the green machine here, everyone knows they got the green light if they have open space.
Another shot directed on the goaltender for the Huskies, who makes another solid save. She's having a good performance in there for the Huskies, keeping her team in it as best she can.
.131 to go in the penalty. Auger, Murphy, and Brox come out. The puck should be in the back of the net here soon.
I'd like to... I can't help but agree with you here. Puck's jammed into the corner, comes out to Elder. Slips off her stick, but she gets it back down into the corner for Brox. Brox looking out front. She's got options. Finds right Auger on the doorstep.
Well, I called that, partner, and that is a great look by Brox. She uses time and space, goes behind the net, far side, and finds Auger wide open.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter. Great pass right through the crease to the waiting Auger, who just had her stick down and chipped it right past the goaltender for a 5-0 lead.
And a big thing the Monarchs worked on this afternoon in the video session was the power play, the movement, the setup. I was present in that meeting. I did fall asleep for about 30 minutes, but that was the focus this afternoon.
Well, it sounds like the girls weren't asleep. They were definitely paying attention and taking some lessons from the coaching staff, and they're putting them to good use here today. Puck comes in around behind the Huskies net. Cossey's battling on the wall, sends it back down into the corner. The ever-popular four-car pile-up comes out. Back to Auger looking for Cossey. Cossey keeps it in, kicks it off the skate. Nice cover by Murphy at the point. Nice play by the linesman to help keep it in. Tough as nails, little guy. Oh, the puck squeaks out to Brox, who just couldn't find it. Now Kemp puts it towards the net. Brox got time and space once again, looking for Auger again. Can't connect this time. Battle behind the net. Sticks come up. Murphy tries putting one on net, puts it just wide. Murphy over to Brox, looking on the wraparound. Auger again. Same play, same result. Brox to Auger for another goal.
Well, deja vu there, partner, and Auger's got the hat trick here in the first, but those looks by Brox and those 6-foot passes, that makes that play.
Yeah, really well executed on both sides there for sure. That's been a nice bang play for them in scoring two goals in short order.
And I know doing play-by-play with Cowboy Kenny earlier in the season here, we talked about that a lot. Those 6-foot passes, when they have to be made, you got to make that hockey play.
Yeah, they're really showing good puck support, good patience, and really working from behind the net, something that they haven't done. We've scored a lot off the rush this season, but it's nice to see them with some sustained pressure in the offensive zone and work off the cycle a little bit. Here's Hurtubise attempting to pass up the middle, that's intercepted. Correa now on it. They're mucking it up in the slot. Now Evans will go back to collect it. Passes it out, but there's nobody home. That'll be an icing call as no one touches it. Bringing it back into the Monarch zone.
.159 to go here in the first. 6-0 Monarchs. I think if we look at the score sheet, I'm guessing the shots would be about 70-2 at this point. So that final shot count's going to be about 150 today when the goalie dad's done.
Shaping up for another lopsided affair, unfortunately. Coster goes, chases it down, but it's put back in behind the Monarchs net where Hurtubise goes to collect it. She's bumped off the puck, but it comes to Hayes, puts it up the wall to Brox. Turn back in. Hurtubise slaps it into the neutral zone. Coster goes to chase it down. Ooh, she's taken hard into the wall. Gets back up. Tough to keep her down. Brox working away on her. Man, comes out to Hurtubise, who walks inside. Hard shot just wide of the net. Comes back to Elder now, who puts it back down into the corner for Hayes. Hayes takes an elbow to the back of the head and a bit of a body slam.
Yeah, we call that the old bulldog where I'm from. Old Town Beverly, north side Edmonton.
And the fisticuffs continued behind the play there, but not missed by the referee.
And for those of you at home, if you're Silver Spoon raised from St. Albert or Sherwood Park, you wouldn't understand what it's like to grow up in Old Town Beverly.
I married a girl from the north side, so I understand a little bit. I'm not saying I fully understand it, but...
Smart choice, my friend. Smart choice. We know you're not the boss.
No. I go to her for protection, let's be honest.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's glad you got her garage full of marketplace junk right now.
Hey, it's selling like hotcakes. Here comes Murphy dancing in and finishes. Low glove with 51.5 51.8 seconds left to go in the first period. Murphy tallies yet again, giving the Monarchs a 7-0 lead.
Well, as the game gets away from the Huskies here in the first, I think Coach Hayes and the staff got to make sure the girls are aware on the ice and watch out for those Huskies that may be headhunting.
Yeah, it has a good chance of ending in a chippy fashion here as the score gets away from them. But yeah, here's hoping the refs can keep a handle on things. So far, so good. We have a little more seasoned reffing crew, although last night's crew, though young, handled the extracurricular action between the teams exceptionally well. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. Don't want to see anybody injured senselessly or anything like that. Tied up on the draw was the centerman for the Huskies, hauled down. Kemp buys herself some time, puts it back down into the corner. Pass up the wall to Elder, who puts it on net but deflects wide. Now there's a bit of a break here shaping up, but Elder scoots back. Good skating and good body position to break up that play where the puck rolls harmlessly down on Raby Payne. Again, slow night for her, not seeing a ton of action. But again, Fort McMurray did show the ability for those quick strikes and the ability to capitalize on mistakes in the neutral zone. Haven't had many of those opportunities tonight, however.
Yeah, we haven't seen much from little number 5 there on the Huskies, but last night watching her, I'm putting money that she was the fastest player on the ice out there.
She was really moving. Really beautiful play up the middle by Kemp there on that center breakout, something they've been trying to do, and she's getting kudos on the bench from her coach for that beautiful pass. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our first period where your Sherwood Park Monarchs are up 7-0 against the home side Huskies. We're going to take a break for a quick flood here, and we'll be back to you in about 15 minutes.
Well, we're back, folks. Monarchs have made their way down the steep stairwell onto the ice, and parents are loaded up with fried goods from the confectionery, so everyone is happy.
Happy campers all around, yeah.
Yeah, few of the Monarchs' dads partaking in some bootlegged Bud Light, so everyone's happy here.
It's a great day here in beautiful Fort McMurray, Alberta.
And us being the two most responsible adults in this building, of course, we're not involved in any of this.
No, somebody's got to keep it between the lines out here. We are professionals after all.
You will be using your $15 profit from today to buy me some fried goods later, though.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. It was a good day today, or a good day yesterday, I should say. $215 in sales, and some much-needed garage space cleared up. So, Mrs. Hurtubise will be very happy back at home. And here we go, folks. To start your second period, it looks like we'll have Tavaroli centering Brox and Murphy, with Hurtubise and Cossey manning the blue line. A lot of firepower out there. We'll see what we can get out of this first shift. Coincidental penalties still being served by Hayes and number 21 for the Huskies after the coincidental roughing penalties at the end of the first period.
And we got number 5 from the Huskies, Drescher, lining up here. Let's see if she can get her wheels moving here in the second period like she did yesterday.
Big shout out to our friend and co-worker Kenny Braggett tuning in from home today. We're missing you up here in the booth, but thanks for the support from home. Quick shot on net. Bit of a stare down from the Huskies goaltender there for Caitlin Murphy. Again, not really known for her pugilism, but she's been right in the thick of it today. Nice to see.
And speaking of Cowboy Kenny there, great job arranging for the girls to go to the rivalry series on Wednesday night at Rogers Arena in Edmonton. That's going to be a great experience watching Team Canada, Danielle Serdachny, and the rest of the crew take on the Americans.
Yeah, big thanks to Uncle Kenny for graciously providing the box for that. Still waiting for my invite, but I'm assuming it's just coming in the mail.
Let's go, Lily!
Hurtubise puts it on net, where it's swallowed up by the Huskies goaltender. Having seen enough, she'll calm things down.
Quick start by the Monarchs there, and Huskies goaltender with a great save on that first little roundabout there in the O-zone.
Yeah, she's been tested early and often here, but she's been hanging on to that puck, keeping it in front of her really well.
Keep working, let's go, girls!
Huskies go to collect it and get it out of their own zone. Gets through out the stick of Elder. She's having to hustle back. She picks it up behind her own net, taken off of her stick briefly, comes out to the blue line, but back in. Weak shot from the outside, steered clear by Raby Payne. Comes out to Harper Evans. Big windup, but swing and a miss by the defenseman for the Huskies. Now Koster puts it through the legs of the defense and goes to retrieve it. Bumps her player off using that leverage. She's got her in a bear hug. Referee looks like he's caught it here. Delayed penalty. Raby Payne comes to the box for the extra attacker. And it's touched up by the defense. And the Monarchs will be going back to the power play as Hayes comes out after serving her coincidental minor for roughing.
Simple hockey there, deep in the zone. Monarchs moving their feet, and Huskies doing what they can to keep up, but sometimes the stick is the only thing that works.
Yeah, really nice job there by Koster to get inside position on that puck, forcing the defenseman to reach around and grab a hold of her. Now Clark puts it out front. Nicely defended by the Huskies there. Hayes pins her check along the glass. Comes to Kemp. Bounces off the stick of Hayes. Kemp now working down low. Pass out front from Clark. Just shot wide by Hayes. Puck bounces out. Now we got a bit of a race here. Kemp's going to have to really go. Does get there with plenty of time to spare, though. Nice bit of skating there. Hayes passes it across to Murphy on the far wing. Outpaces her check to the puck, but it's cleared down where Hurtubise will race back. Picks it up, looks for a quick headman pass to Hayes. Takes it on the backhand, passes up to Coster now. Coster lowers her shoulder and tries to take the inside lane. Denied by the defense for the Huskies. Hurtubise on the one-on-one. Tavaroli in for support, but number 7 for the Huskies beats them both. But she's met by Correa in the corner. And Correa takes another penalty, unfortunately, for body contact, coming to seal the wall.
And we're wrapping it up here a bit, folks. Dolly Parton's on the airwaves, and during that last stage of play there, we got an update on your ticket to the rivalry series. Apparently it was lost in cyberspace, as I'm told. So
Convenient.
you're going to have to send Elon Musk an email and see if
right.
you can get that ticket back.
I'll have my people call his people, and we'll see what we can make happen. Shot from the point. We have some 4-on-4 hockey here for the next 30 seconds or less. Puck's dumped in to the neutral zone, sent down deep. Hurtubise picks it up behind her own net, looks to break it out. It was a 4-on-4, so that will be an icing. She's getting reminded of situational awareness on the bench by her coaches.
And it appears that the pump-up music is done for the day. We're going full Christmas tunes here, and the good part is Santa Claus is in the house handing out candy canes.
There we go. It's Festivus for the rest of us. Here comes Brock's looking for Evans up the middle, but it's intercepted, turned back up. Pumped in by number 5, who goes to retrieve it. Ocho Elder beats her to the punch, passes it to Harper Evans, now up to Brock's. Gains the red line, puts it in deep. Evans with a nice attempt to track it down. Can't get there in time for a shot, but does collect it. It's intercepted now by Brock's. Nice little chipping play by the Huskies. Bit of an odd man break shaping up, but Cossie says, no, not today, as she winds it up the near side boards. Evans looking to center, but it goes off the skate of the Huskies player and put back down behind the net. Cossie back to retrieve it once again. Brock streaks up the middle. 1-on-2. Shot dribbles through, but just wide. Hurtubise blows a tire, but is able to collect it. Another blown tire. Some slippery ice out there for the Monarchs right now. Hurtubise stops up, goes behind her own net. Struggling a little bit to get it out of their zone here are the Monarchs. Murphy now with a burst of speed, 2-on-0 with Correa. Can't get it over to her. Nice play by the goaltender to get herself out of harm's way. And now here's a break going the other way. Puck comes down in front, saved by Raby Payne. First real high danger chance there for the Huskies. Now Correa dumps her player, incidental contact.
And a very discombobulated shift there by the Monarchs.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble there, but here comes Coster on the forecheck, collects it in the corner.
Let's get back to a little more talk about Festivus, like you mentioned. Folks, stay tuned. In the second intermission, we'll be having the airing of grievances and the feats of strength. I believe the Monarchs just scored, but we weren't watching. Rifle Remy Clark, possibly. I'm not sure.
I think it was, we'll see who leads the flyby here. If there is, there will be no flyby. That being said, kudos from Coach Brox. I do believe it was Remy Clark with the Bobby Orr-esque, as she was being hauled down in the crease, slapped that one in. Have to check the score sheet after the game. Puck's dumped in behind. Raby Payne goes to play it, sets the table for Cossie, who's using her speed to fly up the wall here. Gets it out of the zone to Clark. Clark now comes in over the blue line. Stops up, passes it back to Sophie Hayes. Short angle shot. Nice save by the Huskies goaltender. Huskies rim it back behind their own net, looking to reset. Bit of a pile up down there in the corner. They're digging to try and get it out. Cossie eventually comes out with it, puts it off the glass, down to Remy Clark, who separates her player from the puck. Goes to pass it out front, but just goes off the side of the net. Now Kemp slaps it back down into the corner. Coster's got her feet moving, picks it up, looking for a player out front. Nice backdoor pass, and that is another point-blank goal, this time for Sophie Hayes on the nice backhand feed from Coster. And we have an 8-0 hockey game.
And just so the folks at home are aware of their partner, I will interrupt the play-by-play at times as you catch your breath. So you may not know our play-by-play man very well, but it's a lot of talking here. It's tough. And keeping up to Cowboy Kenny is damn near impossible.
Big shoes to fill. We just, just dipping our toe in this. We're not big leagues like him, but we're doing our best. Nice shot by Tavaroli off the rush.
Great save there by the Husky goaltender, standing tall.
Puck squirts out into the neutral zone. Correa goes back. Stops up, evades the forechecker. Up to Brox now. She's got Evans streaking to the net. Nice little move to buy herself some space. Centering attempt gets knocked behind the net, but Evans is on the puck. They've had some good success playing it from behind the net. Raby Payne plays this, negating the icing, allowing Correa to come back and get it. She's got the quick up pass to Evans. It's a 2-on-0 here. Evans is going to call her own number. Rolls just off her stick. Great looking move there. She put on the Charlie Conway triple deke, but it just rolled off her stick at the last minute. Good back check by Murphy there to disrupt that rush, but it comes onto the stick. Good block by Kemp though. Kemp now with the puck. Monarchs have seemed to pick it up the pace here in the last few minutes, putting the pressure on. Elder goes back, has a look, picks it up off the wall. She's got Coster up the boards. Coster chips it up now, Murphy's away. Auger picks it up, looking to center it in the slot, but it's taken off her stick. Good hustle to retrieve it again, and she'll go off for a change. Puck comes to Hurtubise on the blue line, puts it back down into Huskies territory.
Number 5, Sophie Hayes, coming off the bench like a missile.
Yeah, she never questioned the effort of Sophie Hayes, that's for sure. Puck comes down a little, passed around the boards where Coster goes to pick it up, keeping it in the zone. Odd bounce off the dasher and upstairs, Remy Clark. Right parked on the doorstep, went bar down from a near impossible distance of about 1.5 feet in front of the goaltender, but beauty finish on the backhand to give her Monarchs a 9-0 lead. Real good pressure there by the Monarchs, Curtis. They're really pouring it on here in the second period.
Yeah, great game so far at center by Hayes. She's on a bit of a tear here tonight.
Yeah, you'd never know that she plays the bulk of her minutes at defense as she just slides seamlessly up there into the very important role of centerman. Given some much needed rest for her other two centermen who have been logging a ton of minutes here in the absence of Jenna Lungal and Avery Braggett. Puck skips out of the zone where Hurtubise will have to go back and regroup. Slides it over to Celia Cossey. Rolls off her stick. Ooh, nearly into the... Did get into the bench, pardon me, of the Huskies. Luckily, nobody was hurt. We have 9:40 to go here in the second period. Monarchs once again leading 10-0 here. Tough for the girls to keep themselves motivated, I would imagine, in a game like this. Curtis, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree there, partner. I just want to give a big shout out to my wife for not wanting to come this weekend, so I had to go.
Yeah, drew the short straw, as it were, but look at all the time we get to spend together. Puck's scramble play in front. Great save there by Great save there by the Huskies goaltender, pushing hard off the post to stop that point-blank chance there from Tavaroli.
Yeah, Hattie Brock's looking for that same play that worked 2 or 3 times in the first period, right through the crease to the open player, but Murphy just couldn't put it in.
Yeah, real good push by the aggressive push by the goaltender there to take away some of that net. Just couldn't get it around her. Draw lost back into the corner, but comes out to Elder at the point. Shoots on net and trickles through. Not sure if Tavaroli or Murphy got a stick on that. Otherwise, that might be a goal for Ocho Elder.
No, Tavaroli got a stick on that.
Okay.
The old between the legs tip in there.
Nice little redirection goal.
Great little goal assisted by Ocho Elder. Nice low hard shot on the net. Good things happen.
That's what you want to see. They're scoring in different ways, which is nice to see. Again, we talked about how we know they can score off the rush. We know that they can... They've scored a little bit off the cycle now, some shots from the point. And it looks like we're having a goaltending change here. Number 33, coming off of an outstanding performance yesterday, will come in relief. Shaking it out. After a quick warm-up, she's ready to go, and away we go. Brox comes in to Murphy, back to Brox. Out to the line for Correa. Puck bounces in front. A little bit of a late swipe by Brox right on the edge. Came loose, but there will be no goal as the whistle had been blown. Offensive zone draw coming just to the right of backup goaltender number 33 for the Huskies.
Little apology to folks at home there. Play-by-play man's voice was cracking a bit, but we'll get him back in action here shortly.
Yeah, just need to wet my whistle, I think, between the periods there, Curtis. That should cure me just fine. Puck comes in behind the net where Cossey's waiting. Coster covered back up at the point. Cossey, no stranger to skirmishes. She was the one that got WWE double knee dropped yesterday in some fisticuffs in front of the Huskies net yesterday. No worse for wear, however, today. Playing with a bit of a bee in her bonnet, no doubt.
Yeah, good cross check there by the Huskies D, and Kossi bounces off the mat like she does in the barn at home when she's training.
Puck comes out to Kemp. Kemp slides it across to Kossi. Intercepted, though. Kossi's able to break up the breakout, though, and Kemp collects and puts it back down in. She'll go chase it down herself, thinks better of it, comes back to the point. Auger now comes in, fires a shot. She got all of that one, Curtis. She's still on the 100 pucks a day shooting regimen at home?
Yeah, we try to get 100. I think it's normally about 3 or 4. You know the motivation these kids have. And of course, that one was ripped right in the breadbasket like Dad taught her.
Like father, like daughter. It's a beautiful thing. Hayes wins the draw. Back to Hurtubise. She slaps it down. Stopped up by Clark. Passes it back to the point, but out. Hurtubise is looking for options. Oh, bit of a turnover there. Here comes number 20, gets a quick shot on net, but Raby Payne stands tall, makes the save. Now we got a 3-on-0. Big save by goaltender 33. Sophie Hayes, again, also not one to back down from a challenge.
Great little pass there from Clark to Murphy. Murphy tries to go 5-hole, but as we saw yesterday, this number 33 in the Husky net, she's got some good game.
Yeah, she's a heck of a goaltender here. Talking actually to her mom in between games, she's been playing goalie for 7 years, following in the footsteps of her older brother, who's also a goalie. And yeah, loves the position, loves the sports. Just feel bad for the parents trying to bankroll 2 sets of goalie equipment. Correa rifles a shot just off the post. Hit some traffic on the way through. Now Hurtubise will try her luck.
And
again off the post by Hayes.
If those Husky goalie parents are watching, you can start your own marketplace business and make $17 a day.
Whoa. I don't need the competition, Curtis. Let's just keep that on the DL. I don't need the tax man tuning into this broadcast and trying to charge me for that income.
Well, I do think if you're making less than minimum wage on your side venture, the tax man won't come after you. And there is a way to funnel that money. I do have a guy.
You know some people who know some people? There will be no need for laundering as it's already spent, Curtis. Pass up from Kemp now to Coster. Some wide open ice here. Rocks down to Kemp. Comes out. Rocks calmly assesses the situation over to Ocho Elder. They're giving them lots of space here, allowing the defense to come in. Now penalty has ended. Nice pass from Kemp to Coster. Coster looking across, elects to shoot herself. Puck drops down briefly in front for Tavaroli, but swallowed up by number 33 for the Huskies once again. Face-off coming up just to the near side of the Huskies goaltender here, where Auger will look to win this draw. Draws one back to Kossi. Looks across, sees there's no option on the D-to-D, so brings it back down. Good decision making. Hurtubise has got it back at the point. Scramble play in front once again. swallowed up by number 33.
Great little puck movement there and a great little inside-out move from Cossey at the point to evade that checker and then get that puck down to Evans, and great scoring chance there.
Yeah, really good awareness. She had peeked over at her D partner, Hurtubise, saw she was covered, so elected to put it back down low. Evans came back low to high, and they directed that shot on net for an excellent scoring chance. Murphy swings it over to Hurtubise. Hurtubise over to Cossey now. Cossey with a nice stick handle around. Turns and fires it home. Off the D-to-D pass, Cossey's able to walk in and wires one low glove for an 11-0 lead.
Great little play there. Auger wins the draw. I believe Murphy takes possession. Puck comes back to Cossey. Again, evading that check, walking in and putting it right off the outside post.
Yeah, real nice shot there, real nice finish.
And Cossey really stepping up here in her first year playing full-time defense.
Yeah.
I told her dad 7 years ago she's a defender, not a forward, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Oh, Auger's hauled down. Bit of a slew foot happening there. No call coming. Ocho Elder with a good stick to break the play up, though, right in front of us here. Correa gets a piece of the player, 21, but she fires it anyway, right through the crease and up the other side. Slap shot now, bounces in behind the net. Ocho loses an edge. There's a player open out in front, but Auger finds her in the last minute. Little bit of a worrisome sequence there, but big push by Raby Payne to get across, leaving no space there for the forward on the part of the Huskies to put it in the net.
And little known fact, one thing they do here at the start of the year at Frank Lacroix Arena is they do place banana peels under the ice before they set the slab for the winter. So folks, if you're seeing little Mario Kart action, that's what's going on here.
You know, that makes perfect sense because they have been falling all over the place here. Celia Cossey once again showing that great speed of hers, bringing it up the lane. Taking it hard to the net. Looks like the goalie for...
Well, folks, we got a hard drive to the net here. The Husky defender falls into the knee of number 33 in goal, and she's laboring and heading straight off. Great drive there by the Bulldog, Celia Cossey, though, to get that puck pushing to the net.
Took it. Again, some... coaches for the Huskies letting the officials know their displeasure with the lack of a call there, although didn't have a good look at the play, but it did look like she was contacted by her own player.
Not sure what happened there in the collision, Jeremy, but...
No, I saw two Huskies players getting picked out of their own net, so I'm not sure who it was exactly that initiated the contact, but just looked like a good hard drive going hard to the net.
Who's the head coach? The guy working the gate or the guy in the freaking suit there? Jesus. Crap. You won't have to listen to Ben freaking work attendant.
Things are getting a little heated here. Hopefully cooler heads prevail.
And Coach Hayes standing there poignantly listening to the conversation. So
Brought the conversation down to between the benches where everybody could hear, just for full transparency, I suppose. And after all of that, it appears much ado over nothing, as there's no penalty calls, and we'll continue with play. That being said, obviously we do hope the goaltender's all right.
absolutely. And these games are tough. You got the top team in the league playing one of the bottom teams, and you know, for the Monarchs, they can't let up here, right? The goal is to make winter games and provincials this year, and you got to go full out, work on your systems, and put the puck in the net.
Tough for both sides for different reasons here. Cossey comes back, puts it up into the neutral zone, slap back into center ice. Now Cossey again with some speed, gets it down deep into the corner, where it's collected by the defenseman for the Huskies. Sophie Hayes gets tied up. Again, refs looking like they're trying to sort things out, calm things down.
Yeah, good call there by the ref. Little battle on the boards and a push by the Husky player, and Hayes gets a little slash in at the end, and good call.
Yeah, not much, but again, I think it's a little bit of game management here by the officials. Again, we got a lot of hockey left to play just in this game and another game tomorrow. They want to set a tone. So far, it's been good. Things have been a little bit heated at the benches, but so far they've been calling a good game. Tavaroli, scramble draw, pulled out of the pile by Murphy, who dances through traffic, rolls off her stick, now onto the stick of Brock's, back to Hurtubise. Hurtubise looks, slides it across the Correa. Surveys her options, back down to Tavaroli, back to Correa at the point. Turnover here, collected by Tavaroli once again. Comes out into the middle for Brock's, tries to pull it to her forehand, but unable to. Nice step up by Hurtubise, though, to hold that puck in. Shot high from Brock's.
Come on, Huskies!
Huskies with a few chances to clear the zone there, but just not hard on the puck.
Yeah, good pressure here, maintaining that zone possession. They've got the Huskies back on their heels a little bit here. Pile up in the corner, brought out by Murphy, passes out front to Hurtubise. Great shot, but even better save there.
Great little step down by Hurtubise, just couldn't find that corner.
Yeah, recognized that there was an opening there and just couldn't finish, but nice to see her jumping in the play.
Yeah, her dad got a little excited thinking that was going shelf, but it didn't quite make it.
Close, but not quite. But, you know, good effort, good effort. Auger in to take the draw, centering Evans and Coster. Coster quick to the puck as always, but it rolls off her stick, and now Huskies come away through the neutral zone. Puck comes through the crease, now back to the point where it's directed behind the net. Ocho Elder again, bit of a turnover in front, but they're able to recover. Now the puck comes out to Evans, who will lug it up herself. She's got Coster on her right side, where she drops it off for her. Puck comes up the wall to the pinching Elder, where it does eventually come out. Evans puts it back up the same wall, trying up that same side. Looking for that stretch pass for the streaking 22, but good awareness and better hand-eye coordination for Cossey to break up that pass. They send it down. Hurtubise hustles back for it. Has a look. Loses it briefly behind the net. Comes out into the slot, but carried out of the zone by Evans. Evans gets it over to Coster. Rolls off her stick. They're mucking it up here in the second period with A minute 20 to go. Not a lot of sustained pressure either way. A lot of back and forth here. Puck's brought down, but it will be an icing call, and it will come back down into the Huskies zone with a minute 6 to go in the second period.
And with last night's win there, Jeremy, Monarchs move into first place in the North Division.
Yeah.
Game in hand on the Storm. And with the win here today and tomorrow's game, we should be looking really good here as we pass or approach the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, with another game here against the Fort McMurray Huskies, Wood Buffalo Huskies, pardon me, should be able to put some more points on the board tomorrow, hopefully as well, and put a little bit of distance between us and the competition. Good hustle play here by 19 for the Wood Buffalo Huskies, getting it down on the forecheck, but Celia Cossey goes to collect it. Bit of a collision, I think, around the net where the Huskies player, not sure if she contacted the stick of Raby Payne or the post, but ended up in a heap behind the net. Had some trouble with the pegs down on this side. That post has come off several times here. Not sure what the issue's been, but needless to say, they have it fixed up. And there will be a defensive zone draw here taken by Tavaroli. Goes to the corner where Hurtubise will grab it. Spins back behind her own net. Off the boards to Cossey. Tavaroli puts it up the wall to Murphy now. Streaking up the near side board. She's got room. Passes it across with a little backhand saucer pass, but it's intercepted.
No, that's a goal there, partner.
Oh, and it bounced into and through the pads. Little anticlimactic there. Sorry, my apologies. As that one was bounced off, I believe it was the defenseman's skate or shin pad on the back check and through the wickets.
Yeah, just squeaked in there.
Yep.
Murphy with a great rush. Tried to get the puck over to Clark twice, and fortuitous bounce ends up in the net.
Yep.
And
breakdown here. Puck comes off the stick of Ocho Elder, jumped on by the Fort McMurray forward, who puts it quickly on net, but once again, Raby Payne in to make the save with 7.9 seconds left to go. That's a quick strike ability that we've seen from Fort McMurray. They have some great skaters on there, able to take advantage of some of those breakdowns in the defensive and neutral zones, and lucky to escape without any danger there. As the clock winds down in this second period, the score is 13-0 here for your Sherwood Park Monarchs with 1 period left to go in Game 2 of this 3-game series. We'll be back in a few minutes after this flood. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Monarchs Nation. We have 20 seconds left on the clock before we get started here for the third period in this second game of this 3-game series. That's seen your Sherwood Park Monarchs up 13-0 against the hometown Wood Buffalo Huskies. We've had a little bit of everything this game, a little bit of tension between the benches, but hopefully cooler heads, as we said, will prevail. We'll have a clean 20 minutes of hockey to finish out this game.
Game number 3 goes tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. We see 23 viewers logged in right now, and those 23 better be here at 8 a.m.
Set your alarms. Go to bed early tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You won't want to miss the third and final game of this matchup. Harper Evans picks it up in the slot, directs it towards the net just to the left of the goal. Coster now gets hauled down, comes up the wall and out. Osho on her horse, hustling back. She'll hustle back, but it will be an icing call coming back down into the Husky zone.
For game time tomorrow, projected temperatures -49 with the wind chill, so Coach Madison and Soleil will be wearing their sleeping bags on the bench as usual.
Better safe than sorry, Curtis. Better safe than sorry. Hypothermia is a real threat.
The odd part with me is I don't get that they don't cover their heads. Because
You do lose the majority of your
You do
heat out of
lose,
your
yes.
out of your head. Yeah, should invest in some nice Kings merch. They have some lovely toque options.
and we saw the results of that yesterday with Coach Lee's too many men penalty.
A bit of a brain freeze, perhaps. Ocho Elder has it skip over her stick, comes out into neutral zone, but Correa is back to corral it. Feels the pressure, comes out in front of her own net, makes a great pass though to Murphy. She's got a 3-on-2 shaping up. Pulls it inside. Nice stop by the Huskies goaltender on that rush. Kemp goes back now. Pressured by the forechecking Husky player. Spins back to the boards as the Husky forechecker blows a tire. Nice touch pass up to Clark as she comes streaking into the zone. Looking for the defensive support, but they've been on a bit of a switch there. Comes to Harper Evans, hard low shot, blocked into the corner by the goaltender's pad. Clark tries to hold the zone, but it does come out over the blue line. Kemp comes back. Good stick there by the forechecking number 5. We've talked about her speed a couple times in the last 2 games. In there to disrupt on the forecheck. Harper Evans, though, picks it up and tries to lug it over the line. She does to Auger. Auger's got Clark on the left-hand side. Offside. They are able to tag up in time. Good patience shown. Now Correa hustles over to keep it in on the wall. Gets it down to Evans in the corner. Evans to Auger. Sorry, folks. Tough to see that corner from this vantage point. Hurtubise brings it out over the line. Bit of a bobble there. Offside, though, so no harm, but no foul. Goes back in to collect it. Stops up, has a look. She's got a couple options. Passes up to Clark. Clark crosses up with Evans, but can't connect. Hayes comes blasting in. Picks it up, throws it to the open side where Tavaroli will pick it up. Looking for the trailer, none coming. Hurtubise keeps it in, holds the line, down into the corner. Tavaroli back with it again. Tries centering it. It's cleared out for what will be an icing. Good pressure here once again in the third period. Couple minutes in. Most of the action been down in the Husky zone, as has been the case where most of the weekend. Again, defense will have to be sharp though. Don't want to have any bobbles on the blue line, allowing any breakaways. Hayes in to take the draw. Bit of a scramble. Still battling for it. She does come out with it. Directs it towards the net where it bounces up over the stick of the goaltender, but just wide of the net. Kemp holds it in on the line, puts it down back into the corner, grinding it out. Hayes out waiting out front. Nice pass from Coster, but better save from the Huskies goaltender.
Great save by that Husky goaltender on the one-timer there.
Yeah, good adjustment over between the second and third periods to be aware of that dangerous player out in the slot.
Sorry, folks, I fell asleep mid-sentence on that last one.
Coster rings one off the bar. Heck of a shot. Brox looks to pass back to Kemp, but skips over her stick, and she'll have to come back in. There will be no icing as they put it back into their own zone. Brox with the puck again. Nice backhand pass to Murphy, but rolls just off her stick. Some fleet footwork by the linesman to get out of the way as the puck's directed down on Raby Payne. Ocho Elder now swings it around the net. Centering pass for Murphy, chips it through the defenseman. Looking to pass it over to her line mate Brox. Eventually does make it way to Brox, who's circling in the offensive zone. Took a stick in the back of the neck. Errant, not intentional. A little bit of gamesmanship going on as Murphy dropped her stick and the opposing player tried to kick it away. Cossey looking to hold the line. Nice battle. Good stick work there. Walks it in. Puts a shot on net. Rebound. Cleared away by the defense. Back into the corner. Hurtubise with a good hustle holding that line. Comes back down where they will try and go up that same side. Cossey's there waiting for it. Good work by Hayes to cause some disruption. Rolls just in behind the net. Cossey once again takes it off the boards. Tries to push it back down deep, just grinding out the clock here in this game. Hurtubise in a foot race, gotta go. Gets beat to the puck, but in good position. Separates her player from the puck. Clark up the wall to Evans, gets it out, pushes it to the far side, but her line mates are going for a change. Evans grinds it out on the wall. Looks like Evans is going to be taking a penalty here away from the play.
Yeah, good clean little press on the boards there. I don't think there was a hook there, but
Yeah, holding the call.
Huskies go to the power play.
Yeah, they haven't been shorthanded often today, so we'll see what the Monarchs can do. The few offensive opportunities they were able to get last game, the Huskies that is, came off of the power play, so we'll see if they can kill this one. Elder swoops behind her own net, trying to get it up out the wall, has to circle back, tries once more. Nice evasion of the forechecker up to Tavaroli, who's got a lane, uses that speed and frame to get around. Nice save by the goaltender. She tried to go backhand. Goalie was up to the task. Good work by Ocho Elder to hold the line once again. Tavaroli now with it again behind the net, looks to center out front to Auger. And it's cleared down the ice right onto the net of Raby Payne. She passes it quickly up to Correa. Correa to Auger. Coster up, takes the touch pass and carries it into the zone with speed. Gets it in behind the Huskies net. Sophie Hayes now on the forecheck, again playing centerman today. Ooh, tough collision there by Cossey meeting with the Huskies player, just a 50-50 puck. Nice play though.
The Bulldog won that battle, Jeremy.
Yeah, she's gonna win those more often than not, Curtis. I'd put my money on her in a bar fight any day. Have you met her father?
Go get it!
Actually, you know what? It's the mom that you got to watch out for. Her dad's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, Dad's quiet and Mom will not stop talking.
It's not what I was referring to, Curtis, but thank you for that insightful commentary. Good hustle by Cossey on the far boards. Passes it back to Kemp. Kemp over to Hayes. They've got some open ice here. Coster driving the net. Hayes coming down the wall. Bit of a collision. Coster goes spinning into the post, but she'll pop right back up like the Energizer bunny that she is. Just keeps going. As we'll have an offensive zone face-off here with 12 minutes and 8 seconds to go in this third period. Hurtubise and Correa on the point. Clark wins the draw back to Correa. Pass to Murphy. Murphy to Hurtubise. Hurtubise will wind up and fire. Fans on it. Now she'll have to go back and retrieve it. Correa there to cover. Correa stops up, passes it to Brox. Brox, nice touch pass up to the streaking Clark, who's got a step on the defender. Goes and collects it behind the net. Back up to the point to Hurtubise. Holds the line for a moment, but it does come out. Now they're away with speed.
Go get it!
Comes down into Hurtubise's corner. Picks it up, skates in around behind the net. Correa up to Brox. Comes off her stick, put right back down. That should be an icing as she was not on the right side of the red line. And there you have it, as the puck will come back down for a draw in the Huskies zone.
Monarchs slowing down here a bit in the third, but in a 13-0 game, things got a little heated in the second. Prepping for tomorrow. 8 a.m. is going to be a tough one hitting the ice early.
A little bit of game management. Ooh, real nice goal there by Tavaroli. Took it off the draw. Little backhand, forehand shelf action. And it's all business for the Monarchs as they go straight back to the draw with what's now a 14-0 lead. Bit of frustration showing on the faces of the Huskies players. Hard not to feel that way.
I didn't see the whole play on that one. I believe OJ won the draw and Tav walked in, and
yeah,
that was all she wrote.
Pulled it off of the backhand to the forehand and tucked it in. Evans now fires off the goalie's mask up and over the goal. Elder comes in from the point. Taken by the defenseman behind the net for the Huskies. Again, collides with Tavaroli.
Going to be a trip coming here to Tavaroli. Good call by the ref.
Yeah, not intentional there. I think just kind of met at the puck. Had a hard stick down on the ice and ended up taking down the Huskies player there inadvertently.
And as always, number 19 going to the box. She's always got a smile on her face. Doesn't matter.
Great attitude. Gotta love it.
Come on, girls!
Hayes in to take the draw. Looks to pull it to the corner. Does so to Cossey, who skates it around behind the net. Picks up speed. Chips it off the wall. Chipped once again by Coster, and Hayes and Coster are away on the forecheck. Comes right back down. Iced by the...
Go get it, girls! Go get it!
Iced by the Huskies. Sorry, got caught up watching some shenanigans behind the play as the defenseman for the Huskies was giving Sophie Hayes a bit of a forearm shiver behind the play. Coster goes to work, knocks her player off the puck. High shot, drops down. Loose puck in front. Covered up by the Huskies goaltender. What's my kid doing?
And you could see there, Coster was going in for the rebound and definitely was told to hold back and not take that extra dig.
You could also almost see the little voice in the back of her head saying, maybe maybe not here. Maybe
Don't
not.
start a fight.
That's
Don't start
right,
a
that's
fight.
right. Brox fires it on net. Quick rebound, drops back down, collects it in behind the net. Bodies flying everywhere, but Clark able to control. Back to Elder. Elder winds and fires. Makes it through traffic, but not on net. Brox is tied up. Correa holds the line. Fans on it initially, but puts it on net straight through, and it will be covered once again by the goaltender for the Huskies. Curtis, I see we've lost 3 viewers. I'm not sure if it was something I said or a bad connection perhaps, but hopefully we gain them back.
Well, it is dinner time in Alberta, so
Fair point. Fair
I'm
point.
assuming shepherd's pie was ready and we had a few grandparents log off.
That's entirely possible and highly probable, Curtis. Evans fights off a check, collects it behind the net, looks to center out front, passes it back to Elder at the point. Elder slides it over to Correa, bounces it off of the winger, comes down to Murphy, who's able to hold off her checker. Evans with a shot on net, saved by the Huskies goaltender. Good pressure here now. Murphy once again looking for Evans out front, finds her and scores. On the one-timer from the slot, Murphy to Evans.
And once again, Evans scores a goal. The puck is flat on the ice.
Yep, the not always her go-to move, likes to put it upstairs, but she's had some success shooting low here today.
And that one being a shorty as well.
That is correct. 4 seconds left in the Tavaroli penalty. She'll come back and join the fray here. Bit of pushing and shoving here in front of the benches, but Hayes comes away with it. Up to Auger, who loses it briefly. Now to Cossey. Cossey on the backhand finds Auger. Nice backhand forehand move. And Tavaroli at the right place at the right time with a quick tap-in goal for...
Again, great little play by the Bulldog. Cossey on the line there, steps in, goes net front to Auger, and Tavaroli bangs in the rebound.
Having a heck of a weekend here is Cossey. Should be noted that she's fighting some sickness as well in the last couple days, just coming back from feeling not super well, but kudos to her for having a heck of a couple games.
Started the whole flu trend in the Monarchs squad. Thanks, Tom.
Allegedly. Once again, a little bit of...
Bit of a scrum here. Monarchs players not reacting, but they're going to stand their ground.
Absolutely, that's how you want to handle it, right? They're taught to play to the whistles, and they'll continue to do so. But as soon as that whistle blew, they called off the dogs, and play will continue here.
Just a reminder to the parents at home, if your other half is here and they haven't paid their $10 tip for the bus driver after 7 reminders, please send them a message.
Hurtubise now has some open space, goes in. Good shot just wide of the net. Elder deep in the zone. Cossey hustling back. Kemp in for support. Nicely there to disrupt the play. Over to Elder on the far side. Bit of different personnel out there for the Monarchs here, with a couple defensemen out on that play. It looks like 4 defensemen were up on that play with Remy Clark.
Yeah, it looks like we got Coster, Auger, and Tavaroli back on D, so watching them try to skate backwards will be interesting.
Yeah, underrated skill, but very important in the defensive position. Here's Correa in to take a draw, not something we say too often. Bit of Nice.
Rifle Remy Clark and Hattie Brock's on D right now.
Ocho with a nice shot on net, just wide. Now Brox goes back to collect it, playing defense here. No icing coming, puts it up the wall to Hurtubise. Hurtubise chips it out, but intercepted. Stuck in the skate of Brox briefly. Clark now passes it over to Ocho.
Brock's looking like Evan Bouchard back on D there momentarily, but she'll figure it out.
Bit of a cross-eyed moment there, yep. It happens to the best of us. Bit of a healthy run taken on Remy Clark there by the
rifle taking a bit of an elbow there, which should have been called.
Right to the dome in front of the benches. Coaches letting the officials know maybe to have a look at that. Again, Monarchs, no strangers to physical play. Again, in our estimation, have kind of held back here in terms of their physical play, but will be willing to answer the bell should it be necessary. Evans dumps it in and goes for a change. Murphy collects it in the far corner, slides it out front to Hayes, just wide of the net. Murphy back on the puck, puts it back to the point where Coster's waiting. Walks the line, puts a great shot on net. Nice footwork there, walking the line, looking like a seasoned pro as a forward playing defense there.
Good healthy bump on Kemp there down low, and she reacted and won that battle.
Murphy holding the line, using her long reach now, comes in on offense, slides through the wickets of the goalie, but goes wide. They're pouring on the pressure here. Intercepted, but puck! Bit of a breakdown. Kemp now in on the forecheck. Good hustle there, causes a bit of a disruption.
Sorry, folks, just reminding my daughter there that she was defense and probably had to go get that puck.
I thought we were just yelling out our favorite things there for a second. I was going to yell beer, but apparently I missed the cue.
I would have yelled Tom Cossey and Kenny Braggett.
4 minutes and 24 seconds left to go here as the seeing a bit of a different look from the Monarchs. Correa leading the charge. Ocho Elder, no stranger to playing forward, able to adapt quickly. Correa looking across, finds Hurtubise in the slot, puts it on net, but saved by the goaltender for the Huskies. Back down into the corner for Hurtubise. She'll look to create some, passes it out front. Bit of back and forth. Looks like Hurtubise is going to take two for cross-checking. Oh, pardon me. Appears that she didn't get the retaliation call. Nice. Just caught the first one, not the second one. Things continue to be a little heated here. The home side not winning any fan favorite treatment from the referees. They are not taking any of their guff here, Curtis. Not winning themselves any favors.
Monarchs power play here. We got Brox and Remy Clark on defense.
Murphy comes in, quick shot, nice blocker save. Comes to Hayes. Hayes over to Clark. Clark slaps it D to D for Brox. She'll hustle it down. Passes off the backhand to Clark. Clark winds, looks for Brox, streaking across the middle, into the fray. Quick whistle, probably a smart call by the referee, not letting anything escalate.
Yeah, Monarchs standing tall here. Sophie Hayes takes a two-fister to the face there and just walks away out of the crease. So,
Yep, keeping it classy here, Sherwood Park. Keeping it classy, nice to see. No sense getting into anything, nothing to be gained here. So we'll just continue to work hard, work down these last 3.5 minutes, and reset for tomorrow's game. High stick played by Remy Clark, so this should be whistle dead, and then there it is. Draw will be outside of the zone. Erica Correa centering Maddie Kemp and Ocho Elder. Puck won by the Huskies. Try and bring it up the near boards. Hattie Brox looks to go across. Passes it up to Ocho Elder. She's got Kemp coming in on the far side. Stopped up by the linesman momentarily. Offside. They're now tagged up and they'll head back in. Remy Clark dances in from the point. Nice centering pass to Correa. Directs it on net, but it's swallowed up by goaltender number 1. Thank you. I could not see that far. I appreciate the help, Mr. Auger.
well, the fans at home wouldn't be able to see your glasses fogged up right now. So,
Working up a sweat here in the commentators' booth.
and this Husky goaltender had a little break there before her partner got injured, and she's stood tall for the rest of the
both
game.
goaltenders done an admirable job. They're facing a tough opponent here in the Sherwood Park Monarchs, who are directing a lot of pucks towards the net, and they've made some big saves for sure. It could have been a lot worse had it not been for the outstanding play of both goaltenders in both of these games. Raby Payne out to play the puck, sets the table for Coster. Coster stops up, makes a nice outlet pass to Hayes. Hayes to Evans. She's 1-on-2. She'll take it wide. Winds and fires. Glove saved by the Huskies goaltender, and they clear it down the ice. Raby Payne once again plays it off the wall for Auger. Auger up to Evans again. Coster looks to dance in, gets it disrupted. Bit of confusion there with some people playing out of positions they're not accustomed to. Auger slaps it over onto the near boards for Hurtubise. Hurtubise up to Evans, looks to touch it over to Coster, does, but will be beat to the puck by the defenseman for the Huskies. Good hustle play, though, by Hayes, who's rubbed out hard onto the wall. 21 for the Huskies, taking a few penalties here in the last 2 days. Good back check by Hurtubise coming back in support. A little bit of an errant pass over to Coster, but they've got time to collect. Coster will swing it back. Stops up with a nice little move. Finds Hayes on the far side. It's a 2-on-2. She'll take it wide. Slides it out front to Elder, but can't get her stick down. Good play by the defenseman there. 42 seconds left to go here. Another shot to the face taken by Cossey. Takes it with a grin. Now Tavaroli's taken down. Gives a little hey, how are you on the shin pads back. Kemp slides it over to Elder. Takes it on the backhand. Stripped off the puck. Cossey fires it on net. Bit of a scramble again. Quick whistle. Refs are in there right away to make sure everything stays nice and calm. 23.5 seconds left to go. In what's been another, unfortunately, lopsided affair here. 16-0 is the current score. We'll see if that is our final score.
Well, it's been a pleasure working another game here with you, Jeremy.
Always, Curtis. Couldn't have done it without you.
We've known each other for a long time, but our friendship has blossomed.
Ooh, Correa.
What happened?
Correa disrupted the breakout went back, headed straight north, in on the goaltender, shot one low blocker, and it just squeaked through for another goal. Might have a natural center, but yes, our friendship has absolutely blossomed. Started as ringette dads way back when, both daughters having since converted to hockey, something we probably are both pretty happy about, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, the ringette days. I remember you out there
Trying to skate.
helping coach, skating on your ankles with those old plastic microns you had.
Yeah, wasn't a hockey player growing up, cursed with weak ankles, but doing what we can. It's for the kids.
Strong Ukrainian shoulders, though.
Yes, that is true. That is true. That wraps up game number 2. Just have the handshakes here. Should be
Uneventful is what you're gonna say.
That's what I was hoping for. Yes, uneventful. Just calm, collected, civilized. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Everybody's getting along. We're happy.
And the greatest part about broadcasting here today is the close proximity in which we both have to stand and talk to each other. So if you have it, I got it now.
No, always a pleasure, Curtis. That wraps us up. With handshakes complete, we're going to sign off here. Be sure to tune in tomorrow bright and early at 8 a.m. for round 3 of this showdown here in Fort McMurray.
That's it. That's all, folks. You're watching another edition of Monarchs Hockey.
Thank you and good night.